Hi there. So today we're doing a tutorial on how to draw your TransUnion report. TransUnion gives you a free report once a year, and I'm going to show you how to do about this. So you're going to go into your Google window and you are going to start by typing in www.transunion.co.za, my free credit report. And you're going to see that when it comes up, it's going to show you a bunch of different options. Now, it's really important for you to look for the one that says My TransUnion. And it's got to be this logo because otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to land up on one of these other websites and it's not the ones that the bank uses. So once you're there, if you haven't been on it before, you're going to need to have registered for it. But once you've registered, so you're going to log in and then the member log in. It's going to ask you for your username, which will probably be your ID or your email address. And then it's going to ask you for a password, and then you're going to go to log in. Again, if you haven't been on the site before, you're going to need to register. They're going to ask you a bunch of your information. And once you're registered, then you can go to this page. So once you've done the username and password login, it'll take you to a page where you have to put in a one-time PIN, which they would then SMS or email to you depending on what you've requested. So once you've put in the one-time PIN, it's going to take you to the profile screen. So once you're on the profile screen, you're going to look for the page that gives you your free credit report. Okay, so make sure that you are requesting the correct document. It needs to be the one that is the free credit report. They're going to try and con you into buying all sorts of things for 40 Rand this and 27 Rand that. You don't need those reports yet. At this point, we want the free credit report. TransUnion is the South African supplier, so they have to give you this information. So you're looking for the free credit report. Once you've clicked on that option and you've requested it, you'll then go to your profile and you'll go and draw the report there. Once you've got that report, you can either download it, you can email it to yourself. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run through the report with you and just tell you what it is that you're looking at and what it is that the banks look at. So, I mean, I've worked with vehicle finance, I've worked in the bank with vehicle financing, and I've seen behind the scenes, this is what the bank is looking at when they're looking at your profile. Okay, so this one is obviously just a adjusted one for some poor person's report that I've used. I've redacted a lot of the information, removed a lot of the information, obviously for confidentiality purposes. So what you'll see is as we go through it, there is certain information that you need to pay attention to. There is the beginning part is going to give you obviously your personal details, the addresses that are listed, the employers that are listed. So this would be like maybe you've applied for finance before and those people put this information in, or maybe you put this information in when you registered, and it will keep a record of that as you go. We are also looking for different sections of this. So there you've got the judgment. So judgment's really, really important. This is when someone actually goes to court and takes a judgment against your name. This normally means they've written off money. You don't just go and get a judgment because it costs them money to do this. So that is when a bank or a credit provider takes judgment against you. It can only be removed by a court. Notices is just basically to say that you have been a bad payer, or it is a notice to go to court. Defaults are listings on your credit payability, so how well you've reported to have used the credit that you had. So if you were a bad payer, they will probably take a default against you to try and encourage you to pay that account. Trace alerts, that's if they're looking for you. Then you know we're in next level trouble here. That's when someone actually has a trace out on you. Inquiries, that's anybody that has done a search on your name. And obviously, they need permission to do these searches. So you would have maybe clicked on something or gone online or applied for something. This is a record of all of those. And this will be credit accounts, but also things like bonds or employment applications will probably do an inquiry. And it's really, really important to note the more inquiries you do, the lower your score will be. Every time somebody does an inquiry, it lowers your score because it shows that you are credit active. This next section, really important. These color-coded and letters are really, really important. This is what the bank is looking at. So for every account linked on your name for 24 running months, there will be a rating on any account linked to your ID number. And you'll see, yeah, it's got the blue is okay. That means it's good. Your account was paid on time. If it's a yellow, it's a 30 days. That means it's up to 30 days in arrears. The 60 up to 60 days, the 90 up to 90 days. And then you've got like the L or the C or whatever. So you'll see, and this one is a macro account that was opened in 2024. Obviously, there's some of this person's information I've deleted here. But you'll see in the tab underneath, those purple and blue blocks are where the person has, how they've paid their account. So it will, sorry, I've just lost my place here. It will give that record of how the account has been paid for every month of those 24 months. And if it was handed over at some point, then you will see it will go to an L, maybe for legal. Or if the account was closed, then it'll go to a C to say it's closed. And obviously, every month thereafter, it'll be NU, which is not updated because the account is not running anymore. There's no reason for them to keep updating the account. Okay, and you'll see this is just a bunch of different accounts for each person will have this. Any accounts linked to your ID number. As you go through your report, this is what it's going to show. And it will get to a point where, let's just jump to one where I've just copy and pasted an account that was in arrears. So you can see over here on that account where it doesn't look so good. So obviously now the blues and the greens and the purples are all good. As soon as we start going to the red, the autumn colors are the dangerous colors. These are the ones where you're losing score. Okay, and this is what the bank is looking for. They're looking for orange and red and yellow. As soon as they see that, that's when they start getting worried. So you can see on this specific account how the account has been in arrears. Sometimes it's up to date, sometimes it's in arrears. But I always talk about it being like ones and noughts. For the months that were paid on time, you're adding to your score. You're getting ones. And for the months that you didn't owe anything, you're getting zero. You're getting no points added. And then for the months when you were in arrears, it's a -1 because it's actually reducing your score. It might not be 1 point. It obviously depends on how far behind you are. But that is what is reducing your score. So this adds and reduces. Generally, the bank is wanting your score to be over 700 points if you want to apply for a vehicle finance. I have seen ones a little bit lower, maybe 640, but generally it's about 700 points. It's what you need to be aiming at. And then, of course, if there's anything that's linked on your name that is not yours, you've never opened an account with Macro, you've never had a Mr. Price account, you've never had a Telkom account, and now these people have listed you, then you can phone these numbers on the screen where you can phone the call center and just you can dispute that listing. So you can tell them that you never signed up for that account. Now, in terms of CPA, they then have to provide within 21 days written proof that you opened the account. That would be the purchase agreement with your signature on it, with your documents. And if TransUnion cannot provide you with that information within 21 working days, they have to remove that listing if they cannot provide proof of it. So obviously they go back to that company and they say, okay, give me the proof that this person was in arrears with their account and that they opened the account and that you try to get hold of them. And if they can't do that, then that listing actually has to be removed. Okay, guys, so this is what the bank is looking at, specifically TransUnion. This is the one that most of the banks except one use. It doesn't help you go to Debt Busters and you go to these other guys. This is the one the bank is looking at. This is the one that they will be drawing your score from. So have a look at it and make sure that your stuff is up to date. Now, if it isn't up to date, we're going to talk about that in a different video. For now, this was just how to draw your report and how to know what the bank is looking at when they are drawing your report for you.